Hi guys, welcome back to the Rick Shiels Golf Show podcast, episode 312. We've got a guest on today, guys.
We have.
And she is full of energy. We've actually just completed the podcast with her. Just a quick warning. There's a few swear words.
A lot.
There's a few naughty words that our guest said today, but we're going to keep it all in because it adds to the podcast. Today we have on Rachel Drummond, who, if you don't know Rachel, she is a live broadcaster. She does the pre-show, post-show. She does the range walk. She is unbelievable at her job, but also she's got such an incredible history. She was actually an ex-professional player as well.
Today's podcast, genuinely, and don't say it's too lighthearted, was one of our most enjoyable ever. The story of Rachel had some kind of really exciting twists and turns and went in some directions I wasn't expecting, but I came away feeling inspired and wow.
Yeah, I mean, Rachel's been through some real turbulent time as well in her life. So the fact she's managed to put all this behind her and learn from it and push through, through grief and other situations has been really amazing. She also shares some exciting news that is coming her way soon as well, which I think a lot of you will really enjoy. So sit back and enjoy. Again, if there's young children around, maybe just warn them. They might learn a few new words today.
The word sausage
gets
also
mentioned
got
a lot.
Do a counter. I reckon it's going to be 30.
Yeah, at least. Guys, thanks for listening. Enjoy. Be sure to subscribe. And this is a really cool interview with our friend and soon to be your friend, Rachel Drummond. Rachel Drummond, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Considering you woke up at 4:30 a.m. this morning, you are incredibly giddy.
You've known me quite well for a year now. You know that I am just quite giddy in general.
You are a very happy-go-lucky type of girl.
Yeah.
You always seem to be smiling. You always seem to be having a great time. You always seem to be getting into a little bit of mischief, which we might touch on the podcast today. But genuinely, we've spent the last year pretty much traveling the world together, spending little pockets of time together, not enough time together, I would say.
I know.
But every time I've been blown away by your really personal touch and your delivery as a live golf broadcaster. I think you do such an incredible job. And you know what? I always think the players feel really easy around you.
Thanks, Rick.
Like they always feel like dead relaxed and chilled. And I think because of that, you get the best out of them as well.
Yeah, I think as much as I do seem like a giddy character, I put a lot of research and effort into what I'm talking about. But at the end of the day, you've got to have fun. And I'm obsessed with golf. And, something that's really I'm passionate about is finding out what makes all these golfers the best in the world. And I'm a technical girl. I love the golf swing, probably from my history playing. And I'm like, right, what can I get out of these guys this week? And, I do the range walk. A lot of the range walk before, it's absolute carnage when it goes live, but I'm just floating about. I'm talking to the guys. We're talking about what we got up to at the weekend. And then I think they just feel then they can talk to me a bit more like a mate. And
I suppose over that time as well, you'd have built up trust. I feel like we probably jump, and we're going to come into the live golf broadcast a little bit in a minute.
Can I take my shoes off?
Go for
Sorry,
it.
I just...
Nobody can see what's happening.
I've got no pants on. I never do.
Yeah,
it's a bit awkward. It's sat next to me today. I can actually see it today.
Guy, come sit next to me. I'm
We've already had some sausage conversation before the podcast started. That video's not out yet, is it? People won't see the sausage, but Rick got his hands on a big sausage.
Yeah, and Rachel did this morning as well.
Did she like the sausage?
She seemed to be impressed.
I was fascinated by the sausage.
She wants to take it away.
Edit number 1.
We've got a club review coming out in the next week or so, which is a putter which has gone viral on Instagram, and it's called the sausage. So unfortunately, because we are children at heart, we can't stop making innuendos about this bloody golf club. Anyway,
but from a technical perspective,
it's phenomenal.
It is. I mean, how's it not been done before?
I don't know.
I mean, sausages have been done before, but that's never been done before.
Sausages. Where I want to kind of pick this up a little bit is a lot of viewers now, listeners, and we would have done this intro and explained who you are and what you've been, but you played professional golf for a decent amount of time. Like, talk us a bit about that, and talk us a little bit about the journey to that, because you had a fantastic amateur career. You then turned professional in 2012, am I right in saying?
Good research, right?
And you went through what, like 10 years of playing professional golf?
Yeah.
How's that part of your life? And also, why did you stop, and for the reasons? So let's almost go back in time. Like, talk us a bit through the amateur golf career and how you felt like, yeah, I'm ready to turn professional.
This is quite a story.
Let's go for it. This is what we're here for.
Get your seatbelts on and your trousers, guys.
All right, okay, fine.
So, come from a golfing family. My mum and dad obsessed with golf. My mum, when she was like 8 months pregnant, was still playing at Flackwell Heath with me in her belly.
No
I've got
way.
an older brother. And I think my mum, lowest she got down to is a 10 handicap. My dad was 9 handicap. And it was just the way of life. Like, my dad was an unbelievable sports person, brought me up like my brother, so taught me how to throw, catch. And golf was just a natural thing to do. And you also copy your siblings, don't you? So my brother was a massive part in life, like copying how he played golf, family holidays, and then played in English competitions, county champion, club champion. And then mum and dad made sure I got my A-levels. And then as soon as I finished my A-levels, I got a pro shop job at the Buckinghamshire Golf Club. And I'd work from like 7 till 1 practice, or I'd do it the other way around. So get up at 7 a.m. in the morning, hit balls, and then I'd go back working in the pro shop. So as soon as I was like 18 and I'd finished school, that was when I started taking it seriously. And I got down to +3, got picked for England, and I was like, right, I can do this. And I was in the same English squads as like Mel Reid. Charlie Hull was coming up and through. I think she almost sees me as a bit of an older sister. We're good friends now. Georgia Hall, good friends, all the girls on tour. And yeah, it was just life, like absolutely obsessed with the journey of getting better. Like, I loved every morning getting up early, practicing, knowing that I was the first one probably hitting golf balls in the UK. Like, I was just obsessed with everything about golf.
And was that driven by parents, would you say, at that stage?
Do you know what? They were always very chilled, but my dad, in his line of work, was, you know, he'd be up at 4 a.m. working. Like, right. I just got brought up around this environment that was so hardworking. And it was like, right, that's how I need to be. That's how life is. And then I turned pro at 22 after the back of playing for England. Played my first LET start at the Buckinghamshire, so where I was actually, you know, based. Perfect. So it was like a full circle moment. And then, yeah, that's when it all started. But do you know what? Looking back, life started happening pretty quick around that period. Like, as soon as I turned pro, my parents went through a really horrible divorce, and I don't know, a lot of golf, like, as you know, you need stability. Yeah. And if you don't have stability, you've got to have some unbelievable mindset. And I think at that time, I just lost my way. I went from being like the most diligent person, working hard, and then I was like living at friends' houses because of the situation that was going on at home. And at that point, I was playing on mini tours, staying in bunk beds. And, you know, the female professional game, you know, it's not like what you see as the full swing on private jets. And it was an absolute grind. So there was a small group of us. Some of the girls are still playing now, but we'd travel every week. We'd share like the most ridiculous tiny bedrooms because you're trying to make as much money as possible. Of course you are.
So you're trying to spend as little as possible.
There wasn't much sponsorship. So yeah, I was working at the same time playing, but I don't know, that really hit me hard personally with what happened at home. Of course. And I went from having articles like the one to watch to just, I don't know, I lost my, you know, what made me really good at golf, just that life experience. So I spent a long time, you know, playing on mini tours. And then my friend Katie, sorry, this is such a story.
No, this is great.
My friend Katie McNichol, who I'm still really close with, she's from Carnoustie. And she said to me when I was 26, she was like, Rachel, there's a golf club in America called the Old Collier in Naples, and they're known for having international caddies. So they'll sort out a visa and you can go out to the States basically, and you can caddy for 6 months to earn money. And I was like, brilliant, sign me up. So I went out there. I'm still playing on mini tours, went out there for 6 months in, you know, the winter season, got my white boiler suit on. I'm the only female caddy, along with caddy, along
Is
with
that the female version of a caddy? A caddy. So
how do I do live TV? This is what I want to know.
Because you have that, because it's again you have that nice relate, like it's fine.
Yeah,
like,
she's a nutter.
It's fine. It comes with it. It's good. So you're out there caddying.
So I'm out there. I'm in my white boiler suit. I'm one of only 2 girls. So me and a lady called Pamela Fegan. I think she's still doing that and coaching. And we're at a club with a load of caddies from Scotland, Ireland, and the banter is just brutal. So we're down in the caddy hut. It's like underground like this. You wait, you're in your boiler suit, you wait to get called up to meet a member. And at this golf club, we've got some of the wealthiest, business people in the world. Like, you've got CEOs of Nike, you've got all these different players in the business world. And this is why I believe life just things happen for a reason. So there was this one guy called Rick Schultz, who was the CEO of Best Buy. He owned Best Buy, which, if you know, Best Buy is a billion-dollar. He was a billionaire, and he normally always had the same caddy, but the caddy was already out. So the caddy master was like, "Rach, you're going to have Mr. Schultz's bag," and I was like, "Okay, brilliant. I'll go out with him."
And did you know anything about him at this time?
I knew that it was a billionaire, but I didn't.
You're thinking big tip today.
Yeah, I was like, hallelujah. I could be out of here soon. So I was caddying for him, and why I'd recommend caddying to anyone is you get to spend 4 hours with people that you'd never get to meet and never get to talk to. So I'm out with Rick and Mr. Schultz, sorry, you can't call them their first names. And he was like, "Rachel, all the caddies saying you're an unbelievable golfer. Like, why are you not like on the LPGA, LET? Like, what's going on?" And I was like, "Look, things have happened. I'm out here earning money, and I'm practicing when I'm not caddying." I was also drinking quite a lot, but that's not the point. So he was like, "Look, put a plan together. I'll sponsor you." And in the meantime, he was like, "Also, I'll give you a signed copy of my autobiography." I was like, "Okay." So I'm just putting it in there. So meeting him, I then ended up making a plan, and I was like, right, I'm gonna, now I look back, I did such a lowball offer. I should have gone like big time, but I was like, right, £10,000, that will get me through LPGQ school. Yeah. So off the back of that, I managed to get a visa to stay there longer, and I lived with Matt Blackie, who is now at Modest and used to be with TaylorMade. Right. So I lived with him in Carlsbad, and I was playing Cactus Tour, so in the States, and with the sights on doing LPGQ school. So did LPGQ school, and at that time my dad was taking part in a clipper race from New York to London. And my dad's never sailed before in his life.
Oh, a sailing race?
Yeah.
From where?
New York to London. So it's a clipper, and he's never done it, but you have to pass a medical to do it. Anyway, I was at Q School getting ready, and you can track the boats to see, how they're getting on in this race. And I saw that my dad's clipper had started going back to shore, so I aborted the race. And then soon after, there was an article that went on the Clipper website that this 60-year-old man was complaining of chest complaints, had been airlifted off. And I called my brother straight away, and I was like, "Mark, my parents obviously weren't together at the time. I called my brother. I was like, "Mark, that's got to be Dad. Like, he's the oldest in the crew. That is something not right." And Mark was like, "Look, let's just wait till we've got facts." I mean, he's never that level-headed, so I don't know where he pulled that out of the bag. But he was like, "Rachel, let's just wait till we know what's going on." So anyway, next thing we know, it's Dad. And he's been airlifted to Nova Scotia in Canada. And they're running all these tests. And I was like, there's just something not right. And I've got to try and get my head in the game because it's Q School. And anyway, I did Q School. I think I advanced first, and then I didn't get through the second, but I got like a partial Symetra card. And anyway, I flew back home, and I remember it clear as day. There's those moments, like we all remember 9/11. I remember walking in, and I was like, sorry. I was like,
it was more bleeping. Thanks, Rachel. No, it's fine.
Is it Tim? Sorry, Tim.
No, don't worry. Someone will be editing it. Ed or Gabe.
Sorry, Ed around the corner. I was like, this isn't good. Anyway, found out that my dad had terminal cancer and had a year left to live.
God.
And he went from having these medicals to get into the race, absolutely fine, to finding out that he's got a year left to live. So I was like, I said to Mr. Schultz, I was like, and this is how you know you're with a hard-nosed businessman. I was like, look, I want to be home. And I remember clear as day the message he sent back to me. It was like, look, we obviously make choices, but he was basically like, I don't think that's the right decision. He thought I should keep going. But mentally I was like, I haven't got the minerals to... I just wasn't.
You can't
well
deal with both
enough.
things. You couldn't deal with what was going on back home and also trying to play professional golf.
Yeah,
like that's bloody hard.
I just struggled to do it. And I remember we spoke about this earlier, Guy. Like I remember then at that point, I then got a job completely in an office in player management, a company called Lagardère. So I went from trying to get back on tour to like, right, I'm ready to go. I've got a sponsor, like everything's lining up, to then that. And then I remember being in the office, and it was great because I got to spend more time with my dad, because it was pretty much a year left to live and he passed away. But I was in this office after he passed away and I was like, what am I doing? Like, I know obviously that was the time that I had to do that, but I was like, what am I doing? I needed to get out of the office. And I remember I had a boss called Jamie Salmon who used to play international rugby, and I was like, look, Jamie, I need to try again. Like, I can't. And my mum was like the most supportive person
and
ever.
What year was this?
So that was in 2017.
Okay.
So I think 2018 I left Lagardère, and yeah, my mum was like, yeah, go for it. She's always like been the person, even when you don't have confidence in yourself, my mum would be like, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
So I went back to LET Access, played in that for a season. Then I got through to, after not playing and not really practicing, I got through to the final with the top amount of girls, which got me into the final tournament. And then I was like, right, I'm going to go to LETQ school. So went to LETQ school. I had a guy called Josh White on the bag. I don't know whether you've heard of him.
Yeah, I feel like I have.
Amazing
actually,
player.
Yeah,
could easily be on tour, but he's coaching and he's doing lots of things in golf. He's got Lemonade Golf, and he was an unbelievable caddy. Like, talk about performance. Like, we'd have, I mean, we see it week in, week out now with Liv, how these guys prep, but he prepped me as if I was already on LPGA and I was a winner, in terms of everything we did. So I got out there and I got my card and I was like, right, we're back on track. And I had a sponsor, I had my LET card.
You not go back to Mr. Schultz?
Yeah, I was like, Dick, come on.
Please, can I have that money back?
Can we come again? Anyway, so then I started playing again on the LET, and then lockdown happened. And then in lockdown, my mum had a stroke and dropped dead.
What?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Seriously, it's been quite a journey, team. And again, I was out there. So this is now in, 21? Was it lockdown 21 or 2020?
Well, 2021, yeah. Anything to do with COVID at all? Or
I think it must have been. Like, she just got remarried, just been on honeymoon. And when she was on honeymoon, after she'd had the jab, she was really poorly on honeymoon. And I look back now and I was like, that's not, again, like your guts, like that. Mum's never been that sick before. She's never had any health problems, touch wood. Is that wood?
This is wood.
Yeah, and that was just what happened. And I was out playing on tour again, and I had a sponsor, and it was like, right, I've already stopped once, I need to keep trying. And I was just shot.
But I was going to say, where's your head at
my
that point?
My head is just gone. Like, my mum, like, I was close with my dad, but my mum was like my North Star. She was my anchor. Same for my brother. And yeah, I just couldn't do it.
Well, I was going to say, how old are you then? Late 20s?
Oh, no, I'm old now. I'm 35.
How old were you then? That's what I'm saying.
30.
So you were 30 years old.
Yeah.
And all of this had happened, and you're still trying to play professional golf, and you've got all these new pressures and strains, and I'm guessing you'd have had to deal with, the fact you've had to go to both your parents' funerals, you've had to deal with stuff at the house, you'd have had to deal with stuff that a 30-year-old doesn't often have to deal with, and you're also trying to build, empty the houses, sell the houses, sort out things like that, which takes time and effort and drains you.
What's insane with that as well is that say somebody has a quote unquote normal office job and those terrible things happened, you know, you might well have an understanding employer, or you might be able to just coast at work for a couple of months, just get by. When you're playing elite level sport, you can't just coast, can you? You have to be fully invested in it. And if you're feeling that way, which obviously you'll be feeling, to then try and be a competitive professional golfer must be an impossible task.
I remember actually, I'm going to tell it because I still don't believe it was the right thing, but I wrote to the LET and I was like, look, this has happened. Like, would it be possible to get an extension for my tour card for another year? And I remember they wrote back saying, because I continued to play when I went through that grief, and because I didn't have like a physical injury, because they'd normally grant something if you had like a neck injury or shoulder injury, because I kept playing and because it wasn't tangible, they couldn't extend it. And I think it would be a very different story if that, you know, probably happened, say, in today's day and age.
I bet that's changed a lot in the last few years. Because like all the mental health issues and challenges that people face as well, like mental health is an illness as well. Like, so if you're going through that, as much as it's not tangible, you've not got a broken arm, it still affects you unbelievably, almost worse.
Yeah, and it was, especially as we know how much a mental game golf is. Like, it is played up there. Like, that is your 15th club. You have to be clear. But I saw that as a sign of, right, this is the way life's going. Like, I can't travel. I need to have stability and I need to know that I'm getting paid. So that's when I started coaching. So I went and got my PJ qualification. I went back to Birmingham University and I started coaching. And I started coaching at Sunnydale Heath. And all of a sudden, I just felt like that was, you know, what I should be doing. Like, I'd always been obsessed with the golf swing. I'd seen some of the best coaches in the world, and sometimes I get better, sometimes I wouldn't. So I just became obsessed with, you know, swings and what makes people successful. So it's all like it kind of led this way. And then when I was doing that, I was doing like really short tuition videos on LinkedIn to try and drum up business, because I was like, look, I'm loving it. I need to try and get clients. So for corporate wise, I was like 30-second video tips available for golf lessons. And then I should do that for dating. Just had a thought. No, I'm joking.
There's another sausage joke somewhere and I'm not going to go down that route.
Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm 30 something years old. I used to play professional golf for a living. Now I'm a broadcaster on Live Golf. If you like what you see,
how are you doing?
What the hell?
Sorry, head back in the game. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I was doing these videos on LinkedIn. And when I was doing the videos on LinkedIn, a guy called Dan Godding contacted me, and he used to run the Europro on Sky Sports. And he was like, Rachel, I really enjoy watching your videos. I'd love if you would get involved with the Europro.
I want to ask you something quick before you come on to that. Like, did that come quite natural to you, like making these videos?
Yeah, I think it did. I could not tell you what made me do them. I could not tell you the reason. I was obviously, like, commercially, I was trying to drum up business, and I've always had quite a business brain. Because
it sounds very similar, and down the story, like, it's the reason why I started making videos. I started making videos to drum up my coaching business, because I was like, well, how can I advertise myself? You know, we joked in the little waiting room before that I'm now on the front of golf magazines, which is lovely, but back then
not just one, there's about 20 out there.
Several. I bought every copy in every supermarket. For me, it was very difficult to become a busy golf coach, because the only way you could be known is through being in golf magazines. Once the internet became a popular strand to be able to advertise yourself, that's where it kind of came from. So it sounds like quite a similar journey in that sense, like making these little videos. And for me, at the start, it wasn't very natural. It's quite hard. And if you look back at my old videos, you can see that. But the more I did it, the more I enjoyed it. I feel like your personality lends itself to being that really relatable person on camera, which is obviously what you've now turned into a job. But again, was that just you filming on your phone? Did you have any support or help with that, right? So that was just something you picked up on?
Absolute freestyle.
Wow.
Right? Yeah, like no planning to it, but just did it. Just thought, right, this is an avenue to reaching people quite quickly that I probably wouldn't be able to get through. You know, no one knew that I was coaching. you know, you might get members at Sonedale Heath, but that wasn't enough to pay the bills with the rent and things like that. So I was like, right, I need to be quite savvy with this.
Great.
And also there weren't, at that time, even though it was 3 years ago, there weren't that many females in coaching that had also played. So I was like, right, this could actually be a bit of and it's kind of turned into the USP really. But yeah, what Dan did completely changed my life, because he was like, look, we won't do a trial or a test in front of camera. We're just going to get you straight stuck into the Europro. I was like, okay, brilliant. So I remember my first event at Harleyford, and I was like, what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. But I knew golf. Like, I was very comfortable that I could talk about golf. I
find it crazy. I've spoken to a few broadcasters now, and I've been lucky enough to do little bits of broadcast. I find it crazy that zero training is implied, is there. It's just like, there's a microphone, there's a camera, off you go.
You learn as you go.
And it's like, you're doing live broadcast now, you're doing highlights. It's like, it's a lot of pressure considering you've not been trained. I feel like I always had this impression that broadcasters have been trained for years and years and years, but it often isn't the case. And you look at all the ex-footballers, the match of the day, or they do punditry now. Like, you look at Gary Neville's first ever stuff in Sky Sports. He didn't have any training. It was he just did it. And now he's obviously got an awful lot better. Same with Jamie Carragher. So going back to that, you just got chucked out there doing highlights, or was this live as well?
So it was pre-recorded. So it was always pre-recorded. So you could do other takes if you wanted to, which, as you can imagine, with me was needed sometimes, / all the time. But I did that for a whole season. Then unfortunately, Europro finished, which is a shame, because there's obviously Clutch and things like that and Minotaur, but it's left a big hole in development of men's golf in the UK. So I did that, and then again, I guess learning from my dad, you always have to make your own luck. So once that finished, I sent an email to the guy at the Legends Tour, which is, if you don't know Legends Tour, it's the over 50s in the Europe, sorry. And they were like, yeah, we'd love to have you on. So then I did a season with Kit Alexander, and we were like the co-host together. And again, I absolutely loved Legends Tour, because you are with legends of the game. And they're obviously very competitive, but they're a bit more chilled out. They're out there having fun. They've, had some amazing careers. And, people like Peter Baker are still playing ridiculous golf. So being up and close from, sort of not grassroots, but like, people trying to make it to them, being with people that have made it and played Ryder Cups and legends of the game. I absolutely loved that tour.
There's actually a huge contrast when you think about what you've just said, because the guys on Europro are literally starting out their journey, and then you're filming with guys like Colin Montgomery or somebody who's literally done everything there is in the game pretty much. It's quite a contrast.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I absolutely loved it. And I actually had a bit of experience with legends of the game, because when I was in America, I dated Nick Faldo's son, Sir Nick Faldo. And I remember he was one of the main reasons, shout out to Sir Nick, that I actually got playing again, because he was like, Rachel, you're too good not to play.
Wow.
So I owe a lot to Nick, because he pushed me to keep going as well. There's been a lot that's happened. Wow.
You just dropped that in so
casually. This is a movie, this, isn't it?
How long we got?
I know. Who's going to play you as the main character in this movie?
Oh, I don't know. Who's fit? I'm joking.
Megan Fox. Yes. Megan Fox play golf.
God, I wish I looked like her.
But that's mad. So you got back into that. You were then doing Legends Tour for what, a couple of years?
I did it a year and a half, and then.
And what? Just a quick question on the contrast between the Europro lads who are like, as again the fresh face, they wanting to become professional golfers. Interviewing those guys compared to interviewing some of the legends of the game, how did that contrast to each other?
It was quite interesting, because I felt also like I was on that journey in broadcast with golfers that are on that journey. Yeah. So again, it really resonated, because you're with people that, I'd probably grown up playing with that are still trying to make it. So I knew them. So that was that familiarity. And you could also just have a bit of fun with it, because they're themselves, and you've got to do walk and talks, and you can try and make them feel a little more at ease when they're going into and I've always been like very supportive, because I know what it's like to be in those shoes, walking the fairways, and know that you need to make a check,
and you know when to ask the questions, and I bet you had to ask some tough questions as well, though, at the tough times, but you could be sympathetic with those questions. Like, if someone's just missed the cut and lost the card, you know how that felt. So you know how to ask the right questions. You're not going to go, oh, so how's it feel? You're like, really sorry.
You just shot your load. How do you feel?
Yeah.
well.
There you go. There you go. You got, you're not going to make any more money.
But I would always go into an interview I'd lead with that compassion to be like, look, I'm really sorry that I have to do this. Because I think a lot of interviews, the magic to them actually comes before when you talk to people, and that sets up the actual interview. So I'd always be like, I'm really sorry I have to do this. Like, I've been there, or... and I'd always try and make it positive. Like, even if you have, like, you do know in golf, it's your next round. Like, you could easily go and shoot a 62. Like, I'd always try and put that human element into the interview.
And on the flip side, what was it like then interviewing these legends? Were they harder to interview? Did you have to almost feel like you had to prove yourself a little bit more? Or were they just so used to it, it was water off a duck's back? I
think being a female in golf, you always have to prove yourself. And I think when we talk about living...
by the way. You shouldn't have to, but I guess...
You almost have to... I don't know. You have to... I don't know. I just feel like that's still a thing. And luckily, a lot of the people that I'm working with now, I have grown through the game with them. So they understand that I can play golf. And I do understand what I'm talking about. But that, coming on to that in a minute with Liv, that was probably the first 6 months I had to get the guys to trust me. Yeah. Because as far as they're concerned, they're like, who is this girl just waltzing around the range? Does she even get golf? Like, this is the feel that I got. A lot of the Americans as well,
maybe, who didn't know who you were at that point.
Yeah, they would have been like, who the hell, what is she doing? Like, can she even hold a golf club? Like, they just didn't know, which is fine, because you wouldn't know. And then at the time I was doing Legends Tour, I also then got picked up to do the Aramco Team Series, which I played in. And that was really cool because I'd started doing a few Sky Sports things in the studio for the PGA Tour, but it was the Aramco Powered by House studio, and it was powered by House. So like what they do at the F1, it was all about what makes these girls great, technically. And that fed into my coaching side. So I'd be there in a studio and I'd get Charlie in and I'd be like, look, what are you working on? You know, why do you think you're great? Like, what do you do technically? What makes you different? Like, I was asking all these questions. And then off the back of that, the Liv thing, again, is just freaky how it happened. So I was coaching in pitch in London. So I had like a London base and then also Sunnydale Heath outside of London. And I remember this guy called Dr. Mark Bloomfield got in contact with me on LinkedIn and was like, I've got a corporate evening at pitch. Would you coach? And I was like, yeah, sounds great. What's your fee? Here's my fee. Turned
£1 million.
Yeah. It is now. No, I'm joking. It's not.
Yeah, we've had to break the bank to get you here today.
Helicopter.
We're not going to keep the lights on after this interview. So you went to this pitch day.
Went to pitch. Pitch in Soho, Undercool Sim, really cool place to coach.
Did we go to that one?
Yeah.
It is a really cool place.
And it's like it brings new people into the game because it blends like bar golf. So it's brilliant. So I was doing this corporate day and there was this guy there called Mark and he was a big rugby guy. And I went and gave him a lesson, which was part of just what I was doing. I did like a little talk and then I was teaching everyone. And Mark was hitting golf balls and I instantly made him better. He was like, shit. He was like, I'd seen you on Sky and stuff, but I didn't know you could actually, like, you've actually made me better at golf. And I was like, well, yeah, that's
what I do. The Sky's just a bit
Cheers, on Mark.
The broadcast is just to make me busy a golf coach as well, potentially.
So, and Mark, off the back of, he didn't tell me at the time, but afterwards he was like, I'm the CFO of Liv. He was like, I used to be a rugby player, but now, yeah, I'm in charge of the finance side of Liv Golf. He was like, have you got a show reel? I'll send it to my colleague, James Watson, who leads up the broadcast. And I'm there just like, nothing will come of this. Anyway, I send him my show reel and then I go out to Mauritius for the last Legends Tour, like the grand final at the end of the season. And I get an email from James Watson saying, look, we've seen your stuff. We're thinking of changing the broadcast next year, pre and post show. You know, there's going to be an F1 range walk, really technical. We love what you're doing. Can you have an interview? So I'm there like, what the? I'm in Mauritius with my legends. I'm like, oh, God, what's going on? Anyway, I do the interview. First interview went really well. Second interview again, then had Will Newell at the time. Not Will Newell. I can't remember his surname. Will. We'll just call him Will.
Well, there is a Will Newell.
Yeah, he's design though. He's my friend's husband. What? I can't remember his surname. So I had an interview with both of them. And
is it Stag?
Will Stager, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had an interview with both of them, and I was like, okay, I think that went well. I was just myself. I didn't really think about anything. And then it was the week before the first tournament in Mexico. I got a phone call saying, Rachel, you've got the job. We're going to fly you out next week to live. So my life changed very quickly at that point. And that was last February, which seems like years ago. But like the broadcast literally went from Europro legends to then working with, I'd already worked with some of the best players in golf, but working with current best golfers in the world.
Bryson DeChambeau and Phil Mickelson and DJ and all these guys.
Tyrrell. And
well, it would have been, you joined the same time as John and Tyrrell. So that would have been like their first event as well.
I think they're a little bit later. Like I joined with Adrian Moronk. I remember it was his first event. He joined in February, and it was quite talking about Adrian Moronk. So I expected to be able, if I'm doing a range walk, I just have free run of talking to the players, because I thought, anyway, I remember I just first one, just bowling down the range, just carnage, just trying to get in with everyone. And I remember this lady going, you can't just go up to anyone. And I was like, I thought that was my job.
That's what I'm supposed to be doing.
But again, I think I had to prove myself. Like I had to get that respect, which is what, you know, I worked on or have worked on.
Were you comfortable doing that straight away? Because I reckon that's a very daunting task to go up to these guys and just off the cuff ask them these questions. Sometimes they're not being prepped or prepared. Like, was that quite hard? Because I don't think I could do that.
Yeah, it was hard. I remember you actually saying to me when you first joined, you were like, Rachel, I don't know how you do this. I don't know how I do. I find it
really difficult because, like you say, as much as you built these relationships, like they're about to go in tournament mode. Like they're about to, you know, in 15, 20 minutes, they're about to start the shotgun start. And you're, rightly so, you're adding value to the viewer. Like the viewer loves that interaction and loves all that. But for you, you're the person that needs to go in there and go, hey, Phil, you got 5 minutes.
I don't go to Phil.
Well, I know you've got your favourites.
Yeah.
Poulter being one of your favourites. Who's your other go-tos? Who can you guarantee?
I can always guarantee that I'll get something from the Stinger boys. So the South Africans, the Ripper boys, the Australians, like Poltz, Westy, Stenson's brilliant. To be fair, they're all good now, but it has been a journey. And as much as it seemed like I'm just winging it down the range, the amount of prep that goes into it before is a lot, because you don't know who you're going to get. And I end up being prepped. I can be prepped like maybe 45 minutes before. I've kind of worked out a route I'm going to do, and then they'll leave because they're going to go chip or they're going to go putt. So you have to just have something. But I think the only thing that got me through is that I am comfortable talking about the golf swing.
Yeah.
Like if I'm standing behind Neiman, I could just talk about it for 20 minutes.
Yeah. So it's not like you're not getting to and going, what am I going to ask him here? Like, because you'll see a drill that they're doing, or you'll see, oh, by the way, what's this golf course? I've been told that you need to hit the golf ball extra high on this golf course. Or what's it like playing at altitude in Mexico? And how are you adapting these numbers to altitude? And all these kind of questions, almost, and I've always found that where me and Guy have done really well on the podcast, is like we're inquisitive.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what you are from that technical standpoint, and from a fan of golf and someone who loves golf, getting to talk to you. It's like, it's that inquisitiveness. It's like, I want to know what that drill is. So if I want to know, surely the audience wants to know.
100%. And also, like, as much as like I'm not playing on tour anymore, like I still want to be a great golfer. So I haven't the last 4 years really practiced or played. And now I've got a bit more time. Like, I still want to be great at golf. Like, how am I going to get better? Like, what have I learned from shadowing some of the best coaches in the world? What have I learned from being around some of the best players? And I think the one thing that's consistent with the live golfers is how much they focus on their fundamentals. Like, you think that it's going to be like P1, P2, like all these fancy words, but that's my backswing, by the way.
It's good.
Flexion, extent, all that sort of stuff. But they're always working on like ball position, alignment. Like, you'll see it, Rick. You walk down the range, they've got sticks down to start line. And the ones that are playing well are the ones that are focusing on those things. Like, if you're trying to rebuild your swing at an event, it's too late. Like, and also just know their games.
I can't get over, and I've said this loads of times, I can't get over how much they practice.
I know, yeah.
It's bonkers.
Yeah.
And in the heat and in Singapore, where you're literally dripping wet through the humidity, they're out there hitting balls. I think majority of them love hitting balls more than playing.
Yeah. And I think that's why the narrative is so off. And it's a shame, but hopefully it will change soon. But they're like, they don't care. These guys are professionally tuned athletes. They care so much. They want to win. Like they
absolutely want to win. There's no question.
There's no question about it. And they are grinding. They're always looking for 1%, whether it's like Bryson through technology or whether it's swing stuff or in the gym or diet. And I think this will resonate with you guys. Like having travelled on Live, it's not just, performance from a technical side. It's also performance in being like physically and mentally ready, because jet lag is a big thing on Live because it's so international.
Yeah.
So I turn up and I'm like, I need a Celsius. I need something to get, and they're just fine.
Yeah, they're just going for it, aren't they? Who have you seen out of the 54 players? Who would you say is the hardest worker?
That is a good question.
Who beats the most golf balls?
I mean, Bryson's ridiculous.
I think it is Bryson.
I think so. And also what I find so interesting, I don't know whether you've seen the tuition piece that I did with him, but I did a lot of research before I did that piece, and he's always known about as being this like technical scientist, like everything is physics and science. But I watched some of his YouTube videos and he was coaching a junior and he was talking about feel, and I was like, you never portray yourself as that. So that was one of my questions in the interview. I was like, Bryson, you're known as the scientist, but you're a massive feel player. And I think he was quite taken aback that he was like, yeah, I am, yeah. And a cool thing that I've actually learned about two of the golfers from doing interviews with them. So Bryson's number one about feel. And in that piece, he actually said that before he won the US Open, he was hitting balls with his eyes closed because he wanted to feel where his body was. And it's like if you lose a sense, it heightens stuff. And then I was doing a Q&A with Phil Mickelson, and I asked him about when he won at the Masters. And he told me that he was practicing in his sim room with his eyes closed. And I was like, oh my God, I've just found something really cool. Like two of these golfers.
What?
Yeah.
They hit balls with their eyes shut?
Yeah, to like just get the awareness of where their body is and where their feel is. Like everything about Bryson technically is very much like angles and physics and,
taking out variables.
Exactly, to get the most consistent impact. But there's a massive feel element that comes with that. And how did two guys that have won majors train it? They close their eyes when they're practicing.
There you go. That's where we've
Sorry,
all been going wrong.
I'm going to do the rest of the podcast with my eyes shut now. I'm getting the zone.
That's where we've all been going wrong.
Wow.
I'm going to practice my sausage with my eyes closed later.
So am I.
So am I. What always, on the back of that, what always does baffle me? How many players also know absolutely nothing about technique?
Yeah.
Like they are so not tuned to technique at all. Because if you try to do a coaching video with Bubba or DJ, it's like they don't even know how to do it. Which is, I imagine how good that would feel.
I know.
I feel like I would rather be that. Like just going and not needing to know.
You see it with clubs as well. Like when you do what's in the bags with these players, some of them are like, oh, I've got this shaft tipped half an inch. And other guys are like, I don't know what it is. I got fitted for it and I just swing it and it works.
I don't even know what brand it is.
Yes.
I think that's what is the cool thing. Like all these athletes are individuals. So as much as they've got all their impacts are the same, obviously different shot shapes, but that's the only thing that is consistent, but how they get there is completely different. And you've got guys that have been taught by the same coaches like Tyrrell, Rory, for example, their whole lives. And then you've got people that have changed coaches like Charles Hull III. He always jokes, Chucky, that he's had, more coaches than girlfriends. And like they've all got these different ways. And then you've got people that do more stack and tilt. You've got people that are using the ground more. You've got all these different athletes, but the same.
Yeah, they all hit the ball from the middle of the face
all the time.
They all compress it and they all generate speed.
Yeah.
Consistently. Yeah. They're the 3 or 4 things that they all do, but all in different ways.
Yeah.
Which is it is always baffling. It really, really is. What's been your funniest moment then broadcasting? Has there been a real standout moment? One of the ones that I saw, and it was I felt bad for you because it was like the back end of the year when
no,
you were trying to
Bubba.
generate. Like, did you see Bubba when he played the back nine at JCB and ridiculous score?
Yeah.
I think he was 9 under through 7 or something silly, or I think he was 7 under through. He was 8 under through 6. That was it. Yeah, birdie 9, eagle 10, birdie 11, 12, eagle 13. And bless, Bubba Watson hit this driver off the deck on 13 from like 290 yards.
Over the agua.
Straight after, they chuck Rachel out there. Right, Rachel, your turn.
Do you know what? GMAC always has a laugh with me because he's like, what have they got you doing this week? Because on my first ever season, we were in Saudi. Neiman hit this like 6-iron into wind. Ridiculous. I'm out there howling into wind. I think I've got like a 4 hybrid and I'm like having to get everything out of it. And this is why I do need to start practicing again because I need to be good because they're like, Rachel, you've got to replicate that shot.
You do, but you also don't. Like,
well, that bubble one was awful.
I know,
I've not seen your bubble attempt.
Is that not happened? Part of
the...
It went in the
guy,
drink.
I was
the
never,
hardest golf shot.
I was never going to do it. It was
give me, you, Rachel, 100 golf balls. None of us would have got even over the water. Never mind on the green.
It was off a down slope, so obviously it's going to de-loft it anyway.
With a driver.
Yeah. Over water, into wind. And they were like, Rach, get out there. I'm like, you.
It was impossible.
I'm hoping people just listen to the technique of how to take the shot.
But you know what, though? I love the fact it's relatable. Like, the viewer would have been watching that and going, yeah,
she's hit it in the drink.
Yeah, like everybody watching will have done that. Like, it almost showcases this is an impossible shot. This is how I would advise to play it. But I'm also going to tell you, this is an impossible shot.
And I think it highlights how great these guys are. Like, exactly. Bubba, we'll never see another Bubba. Like, he's one of the most interesting guys. If you sit down with him at breakfast, you could just... Like, you've never seen a mind like it.
And he's always moving. Like, he'll never put an ounce of fat on because he's literally moving all the time.
And he's just a creative, like, genius. Like, all these guys are geniuses in their own, like, way.
I think I remember you saying the highlight shot of the year was that wacky Neiman on, ironically, the 13th hole when he hit that shot out the rough over the bunker.
Joke.
And again, you couldn't stand there and hit that shot. It's an impossible golf shot. For him to stop it that quickly, I mean, it caught a bit of the hole and nearly went in, but that was outrageous. What about then any real bloopers you've done? Not regarding
Probably
golf
Bubba.
shots. No, because they're just shots. Like, but is there anything that have you called a player the wrong name? Have you done anything that's like? Have you done anything you've like? Oh God, that was
How do
messed that up.
Stop yourself swearing? So you got a bit of a potty mouth.
I do. I'm awful.
But then obviously on camera, on live broadcast live, that has to be. So how do you almost?
I'm waiting for it to happen.
Do you just know it? Just right, don't swear.
Yeah, I don't know how I do it.
I would say so because I reckon we dropped quite a few naughty words off camera, but like almost never on camera.
That's true. Yeah. But it's different.
Do one now. Go on, let it out.
I can't. My body won't allow. Weirdly, if I'm on someone else's stuff, I can do it.
Yeah.
Oh,
you can swear like a trooper.
Like the best of them.
The thing is, though, it's. I have to give credit to the team that I work with. They are unbelievable. They make you feel like you can be yourself. Like, I've never been around a broadcast team that give you like poetic license to just be like, go be Rachel. Like, they're not trying to make me this. They're just like, go. Just, I obviously get feedback and I get tips, but it's like they just let me be myself. And more often than not, it's actually some of the golfers are dropping swear words on the range walk. And then you can hear my producer and director going, have we got time to cut that out before it airs on the...
Can we tell the slightly embarrassing story of Detroit?
Oh, God. Is this where I've got an injury?
Not an injury. So Rachel comes up to me and she goes... Have you heard? I said, what? She said, can you see anything on my face? I'm not looking at her face. I'm going, oh, you look great. She gets the phone out. She shows me a picture from that morning. The worst black eye I've ever seen. And she stood next to me and I'm like, that's this morning. And you can't see it. Makeup is magic.
Well, I would have been... unbeknown to the story, other than the fact that when we were waiting earlier on, Rachel told me this story and showed me the evidence.
I think you're quite proud of it, actually.
I now see her in a different light.
The problem is I've actually got a scar on my face, which is really bad.
That's come from that?
Yeah, it's bad.
Tell us the story.
It's funny, but it's not funny because I could have actually killed myself. So it was.
I know, but they're always the funniest stories.
But after Indianapolis, Ram got crowned individual champion, and I was saying to Guy, I make a rule that I never drink with players. Like I barely go into the players' lounge. I just don't like being around it. Like I do my research and then I'll see you on the range.
Yeah, because they need to see you in that professional capacity.
Yeah.
Or did. They used to.
So yeah, so there's always like a players' lounge within the events where all the families go. It's all like a big community, and a lot of the players on the Sunday night had already moved on to the next event because it was the final team event of the season. And I got a message from some of my colleagues being like, Rachel, we're having some wine and dinner. You know, we're down in the players' lounge in the hotel. There's no one here. Come down. So I was like, right, crack on, let's go. And the problem with the
green light.
green light.
Let's go.
Not amber. We're off. One of the problems, but one of the great things about the broadcast is everyone is just hilarious and great fun to be around. It's like a family. And anyway, we're down there having some wine, maybe 2 or 3 glasses later. I haven't drunk in 2 weeks because I'm trying to be professional in my final 3 weeks, so I'm flying. I'm like, this is brilliant. And then in walks Tyrrell Hatton, John Rahm, Tom McKibben, his girlfriend, his mum and dad, and their trainer. And they've been having some drinks, and then we end up all sitting down together. And this is the video that went viral about Tyrrell. So we're all sitting together. They start ordering not shots, but full-on cocktails. And then
Did you say that Tyrrell was celebrating as well?
Yes. So I didn't realise at the time, but he'd just found out he'd got picked in the Ryder Cup. So he knew that he had a position, whereas I just thought they were celebrating John's win. So he's like the classic, which takes me back to when I was like 16. Yes, I was underage. Where it's like, we like to drink with Rachel because Rachel
is our mate.
And when we drink with Rachel, she downs her drink in 8. And I proceeded to do that about 6 times, I think it was. And yeah, I was absolutely gone. I was hugging
on cocktails.
Yeah, I was hugging Tom McKibben's girlfriend like she's my best mate. I was like high-fiving his mum and dad. I was like,
his mum and dad are dead nice though. You've met his mum and dad a few times. They're dead nice.
Brilliant. And anyway, I end up going to bed, and I get woken up by my phone at 10:15 in the morning, and Rick's closed his eyes.
Sorry, God. I kind of. What's weird? I've said to you before. I've been sober now for a year and a few months. Like, and part of me is like, oh God, I can't believe it. But also part of me is like slightly jealous. Like, it's weird. It's really weird because a part of me is like, oh God, that was me. You're not
jealous of this scar, I tell you.
I know, but it's. Yeah, that is quite bad, actually.
I know, it's bad. I'm going to have to get it checked. I've already had a CT scan. So I woke up at 10:15 to my phone ringing by my director, and I was like, Dan, and he was like, that was the best night ever. So much fun. Like, we're never going to be able to do that. We were there just having fun, drinking. He was like, you all right? I was like, yeah, I'm fine, absolutely fine. Anyway, put the phone down, looked to the right of the bed, sick everywhere.
Oh.
I then stand up and there's a mirror right next to my bed, and I look in the mirror, I've got a black eye.
And it was a proper one.
It's a shiner.
It really was.
And I've got 1 more week left of broadcast. So I'm like, I call Holly, who is like the heartbeat of broadcast. She looks after all of us. And I'm like, Holly, I've had a shocker. And she's like, I'll be right there. She'd already started driving to the next event. She was like, I'll be straight there. Turn round, came round, turned up at the door. She just started herself. She was like, Rachel, what have you done? You've got 1 more week. She couldn't stop laughing. Ice straight away. Next 3 days in bed, ice, like literally setting alarms, because it wasn't so much the bruising, because the makeup artist was like, look, I'll be able to cover it.
By the way,
it was the puffiness.
Just a quick one. Can we confirm how you actually got the black eye? You just banged yourself, right?
Yeah, so I believe I was being sick, and from the trail of evidence, there was a table. there was a table very close to my head. And
was the blood around there? Because it was
there was no blood.
That's weird.
Yeah, nutter. I bruise easily, apparently.
I mean, that is wild.
So yeah, I've managed to get myself ready for broadcast, but you know what it's like from being on the range, and this is probably why I have so much fun with the players and caddies, is if you tell one of them, you may as well tell all 100 and however many, 108.
News spreads fast.
Because it literally just domino down the range. And anyway, I get the boys coming up to me and they're like, why are you wearing glasses? Like, I never wear glasses on broadcast, and it wasn't even sunny. Like, I was like, I don't know. Anyway, I managed to get myself right. And the Friday, I'm not wearing glasses, and you can't even tell.
Yeah, honestly, I couldn't believe it. It was mad.
But I am, like...
So what have you learned from this, Rachel?
I've learned that I just shouldn't drink at work.
Right.
Tyrrell Hatton. Don't drink with Tyrrell.
Don't drink with Tyrrell. But, these things...
They must have been a mess as well, though, weren't they?
Well, yeah, you listened to his story as well. We did have a giggle about it. But, I do take my job very seriously and professionally. And I can't tell. I'm laughing about it now. Wow. But that week I was I was like, Rachel, you idiot.
I think that, but think about this.
It's the beer fear in it.
The way I would look at this, though, is the fact that you've obviously built trust and camaraderie and you could argue maybe a friendship with these players. I know the end result of having a black eye wasn't ideal, but the fact that John Rahm, Tom McKibben, Tyrrell Hatton are wanting you to join their party and celebrate with them and have drinks with them and singing the songs and stuff shows that they obviously like you and enjoy your company and value you and respect you. So it's actually a good thing, in a long story short. I think they obviously appreciate your company and value what you do.
It was
and
funny.
wanted to get you hammered.
It was funny that when I was on the range, I'm like hugging Tom McKibben's parents, and I don't know. It's just, I guess we're all human, aren't we? Yeah. We make mistakes. We get hyped, but I've learned a lesson.
Well, there's plenty of stories like that about everyone. So it's all fun and games. You know, it's quite interesting talking to you today. Is there an itch of still wanting to have played? Like, when you look back at this kind of journey, and I know the reasons why you stopped playing were for personal reasons, do you ever look back and go, I wish I could have given it a go?
I think I'm absolutely obsessed with what I'm doing now. I love it. Like, I love the coaching element because I'm helping people. I love the ambition to still keep getting better. So even though I'm not golfing, it's very similar to when I was playing. Like, I'm always trying to learn about technique and what can I bring to the guys that live and what can I do differently. So I think that satisfies that itch of trying to always get better. But I actually had a lesson the other day, and I haven't really hit balls, and a guy called Liam Robinson, and I listened to a podcast he did with Mark Immelman about technique. And if you don't know about Liam, he's had a massive rise in coaching. Like, hasn't been coaching that long, used to play, and he's like got some of the best players on the DP world at the moment. And I went for a lesson with him because it really resonated on the journey he'd been in, because I went through a stage of trying to have the perfect golf swing. Whereas when I played for England and I used to be able to shoot 8 unders, like, I didn't have a clue what my swing was about. So it was fascinating being with Liam, and he gave me this lesson that wasn't, P1, P2, P3. It was like getting my body moving properly, and I was hitting it. I'm like... And then I had a club fitting the other day, and I was like, oh... So I might next year, if I can, like, schedule permits, like play in something or do like an open qualifier but I don't want to go on tour again.
No.
Like, I love what I'm doing now. I'm obsessed with coaching. I'm obsessed with doing the broadcast. But, if I can actually just start playing again for fun and just enjoy being out with be like, you guys, do you want a round? Or just enjoy playing golf, because I'm so obsessed with golf. Like, it is so deeply ingrained in who I am. And it also connects me with my mum and dad. Like, even though they're not here anymore, I look back and they invested so much time and energy and money, like taking me to all these tournaments, paying for coaches, like paying for entry fees. Like, my mum used to travel everywhere with me. And, at the time,
that's nice, isn't it? At
the time you do appreciate it, but I appreciate it more now. Like, I'm looking back, like, you sacrificed so much for me. And I wish she could, and my dad could see what I'm doing now, because they would never think I'd be doing like broadcast or...
They'd be proud.
Thanks.
I think what's really...
maybe not the black eye.
Yeah, sorry, mum and dad.
Or the sausage.
What's really interesting though as well, and I think, like, to Rick's point then of, like, do you ever think you want to play again? And obviously everyone who plays golf and played to a decent level or whatever thinks, maybe next year could be the year, or if I do this and do that. But actually, what is really inspiring with your story, I think more so that more spoke to today and learned about it, is the fact that there's so many girls, women who will have been in your position, who will have been on these tours and not quite made it. And same for the men, and obviously you've seen it very closely with, like, the Euro Pro Tour. And sadly, the vast majority of those people have now had to go out and get normal jobs, real jobs, working in offices, maybe in a postman, maybe working in retail, whatever it might be. Whereas you've gone on to be so successful and do the very next best thing. If you're not quite good enough to be on tour making a living, you're now making a living by talking to the guys that are. And it's like, and same for Rick with what you've done. It's like how lucky we still are to work in the game that we love and be so close to it. And the reality that it is such a hard sport, and it's different maybe watching the guys on Live who thankfully are very wealthy and they're playing, so they just want to win events and they're so competitive. But those tours at the Euro Pro Tour, people are playing for a mortgage. I can't imagine what that must be like.
It's hard. But I think I always try and look positively. Like, think what a grounding it's going to give them to go into business.
Yeah.
Like, you have to work hard.
That's
There's
true.
no hiding. Like whatever they go on to do now, and I think more businesses starting to see value in that. Like if I had a business, I would employ an athlete. Because you know that they're going to be diligent, they're going to be clinical,
That's very true, yeah.
They're going to be mentally, like, they know what it's like. Yeah, they know what it's like. So I don't know. And things happen in life, don't they? And it's just how you make the most of what's happened, really.
What's next for Rachel Drummond? Where does the journey go next?
AA. No, I'm joking. I was trying to remember the letters. I was like, which one is it? No, what's next? It might be after this.
Down, yeah.
What's next? So, fingers crossed, Live again.
Yeah.
I'm actually moving to Dubai. Because I want to be able to have a bit more work-life balance and, like I've said, play golf and coach. Whereas the last however many years, I've been in a situation where I have had to sort myself out. Like, it's not like I'm getting an inheritance or things. I have to earn my money and I have to make it work for myself. So I think I'm finding a position, not that I can breathe, but at least try and have a bit more of a balance, because all I've done is work and grind and grind and grind. And I want to be able to go out to Dubai and coach, still do some broadcast, but actually go out and play 9 holes.
Yeah.
Like, my obsession, which is ridiculous, is either playing really early in the morning or like sunset at night.
That's
like,
what you did as a kid, you said.
Yeah. Like, I want to go and do that. Like, just drop a few golf balls, go out by myself and just play golf.
And you've got night golf in Dubai.
Does that, sadly what's happened to your parents, does that then spur you on to be a bit more like grab life while you can and do these things? It sounds that way.
Yeah, I don't think I ever could have done broadcast before that happened to me. Like, it's taught me to just not give a shit. In some respects. Like, I obviously work hard, but I'm like, what is the worst that can happen? Like, really? Like, I've lost 2 of the most important people in my life, and I've found the strength to still keep going. So I'm just like, if just work hard and have fun. And that's why I think I am, you like say I'm giddy. Like, I'm so grateful.
You
it's
always
obviously been a journey.
Yeah, very, very happy-go-lucky.
Yeah.
Is like a nice description. Like, you, every time I see you, I almost know what personality. Like, when I arrived this morning, I knew what personality you were going to be in. Like, you're always very bubbly and happy and excited and like just like fun to be around. Like, and it's great. And I love that energy that you have, and that energy comes into your broadcast world as well, which is exciting. And it doesn't surprise me you're moving to Dubai. Like, why not? Like, why not?
I spoke to my brother. I'm obviously very close, and I've got 2 beautiful nieces now, which I'm gutted about leaving. But hopefully it'll give them an opportunity to come out and see another part of the world.
Yeah.
And my brother was like, Rachel, you're doing the right thing, and if you don't like it, we're here, you can come home. And same with all my friends at home who are like my family. They're like, Rachel, we're gutted, but go for it, and if you don't like it, it's just a plane and you can come back.
Well, that's it. God, yeah, it's going to be super exciting. And you're leaving literally tomorrow.
That's the weirdest bit.
Have you got what are you going to take with you? How many suitcases?
Not a lot.
Exactly what I asked
do you know what has been the most therapeutic thing? And I'm massive on energy.
Oh, I noticed you had a clear out on Instagram this weekend.
It is the best thing ever, because you get rid of just loads of stuff you don't need anymore. And yeah, I'm massive on energy. I've done so much research. Like, I might seem like this giddy person, but I did so much research into like life when mum and dad passed away. I was like, there's got to be more to this. Like, what? And there's such an importance, I think, in having good energy. and how that can impact your actual well-being and your body. And there's so much we don't know, like at a cellular level and stuff. So, you know, I also energy of like a fresh start and getting rid of stuff that might have happened in the past. Because if you hold on to stuff, it's not good. So that I found it very therapeutic to be like, this can go to charity, I don't actually need it anymore. Like, what do I need? I don't need a lot.
You know what, on that, this is a really silly analogy, but I'll use it. The only time I can really appreciate what you're saying is when we go away for work and to a hotel and we can't take that much stuff and I get everything laid out and then we've got like maybe 2 pairs of shoes, a few bits and there is something quite therapeutic about minimalism.
Yeah.
And I do definitely agree with that.
There is. I'd recommend it to anyone. Because as much as you don't realise, that will have some sort of energy around you if it's just there. Bin it off.
Yeah, we do hold. I mean, I'm terrible for it, but we hold on to a lot of things, don't we?
Yeah, and I think sometimes a lot of it for me, like I've kept quite a lot of things from my mum and dad. Like I've got all my dad's persimmon woods in a bag, cool, which I'll never get rid of. And like my mum, I was lucky enough to go to the Masters and I'd bought her some tops, so I've still got them in my wardrobe. Like there's some stuff, but the rest of it's up here. Like the stuff that's really important. So
you're literally going to go with just like 2 suitcases in your clubs? 2
suitcases, yeah. I've put stuff into storage, but there's not much. I've literally culled everything.
Oh my God.
Yeah, 2 suitcases. I'm going out to do the International Series on-course commentary in a few weeks. So I'll go Dubai, sort out my visa, work out where I want to live, Philippines for work, and then I'm home for Christmas. So, you know, at that point, if I want to ship anything else, I will, or I might just go burn the lot.
I'm out. That's crazy. So at the moment, you don't even know where you're going to live just yet?
No, I'm just trying a few different locations. I'm going to just see where I like feels like home. Because I don't want to invest, because in Dubai you have to do like 12 checks and stuff. You have to pay up front. So I don't want to put down a silly amount of money and be like, oh dear, I don't like this.
I'm definitely
You're both looking at me like she's a nutter.
You know what it is?
I'm actually quite jealous.
Yeah, I feel like I'm invested. It feels like learning what I've learned today about your story and this kind of new start.
Like, why not?
Yeah.
Just do it. Like, why not? Do you know what I mean?
I know.
Like, what
like
a great...
said, the worst case, you go, not quite for me. I'll get the flight tomorrow. It's 8 hours. I'm home.
Yeah.
That's the worst case.
Yeah.
And with Live next year, like Dubai is such a great hub anyway that you can fly to anywhere.
Yeah.
Probably, I reckon you can fly easier from Dubai than I can from Manchester.
I think you can now because it's so international.
Yeah.
Like obviously the States is a bit of a honk compared to home. But
it's a bit longer, but you can get direct flights, I bet, to most places.
Yeah, they're like 15, 16 hours.
I quite like those flights, me. I'm a bit weird with
I
long
love
flights.
flying.
Do you?
Oh,
yeah, I do.
Flying.
I love long
Turn off my
flights.
phone.
You're not quite as big a fan, are you?
I don't mind it. I wouldn't say I love it.
Hate
Your love for long flights and the fact that you also do like turbulence is a bit weird.
I love turbulence.
It's a bit weird.
Love turbulence.
Do you?
Yeah, I love it. I'm actually good when there's not turbulence.
I had that when I got my black eye.
That was different turbulence.
There was a lot of turbulence that night.
Yeah.
She fell out of bed. Bosh.
Rachel, you've been amazing.
Oh, thank you.
You've been so amazing with your time, your story. I've got to know so much more about you, and so has the viewers and the audience, which is great. Anything you want to leave us on? Anything you want to share? Any wisdom?
I just hope that I can continue to, add value to whatever I'm doing in golf. Whether it's like inspiring more ladies to start coaching, or whether it's just to have like role models in golf is so important. Like I had the Annikas and the Dame Laura Davis and people like that. But I think having in other pieces of the golfing landscape is so important because we know how tough golf is, but you can make your way. The reason I took up coaching is because there's no reason I can't be the best coach in the world. Like as a golfer, I'm limited to, I can never beat a guy golfer because I can't hit it as far. I might be able to short game and putting, but I could never beat them. But coaching, it's down to like application and hard work and knowledge. Like there's no reason. So that's, hopefully I can inspire more females or males to take up coaching or just something in golf.
Love that.
Thanks.
That's great. Rachel, you've been amazing with your time. Can people, obviously, if they live in Dubai, they can come have lessons with you potentially in the future.
Yeah.
Do you still do online lessons?
Yes, yeah. I do online lessons. Yep, just contact me on Instagram. I'm hoping to set up a YouTube soon.
Oh yeah, she gave me that little nugget before.
Yeah.
Well, I know that in terms of lessons, I think Rick's in Dubai in December.
I do. I
Right.
could do
So
a
nice little swing check
This
before he
could be
starts
our
his
next
next season.
catch-up.
Yeah.
could do a little catch
To be
up.
fair, I was bloody impressed with your golf.
It's all right sometimes.
Are you
but
still drunk?
Concussed.
It's part of the contract. When we paid the massive $1 million fee for her to come today, she had to compliment my golf. Rachel, good luck with everything. Good luck with the move. I'm excited to see you. If I don't see you before, I'll see you officially next year. I can't wait to spend a bit more time. We need to get you on a YouTube video on our channel as well, definitely soon. Well, we might be jumping next door and actually doing a little bit of hit filming.
With the sausage or because that is in there.
You can't get your hands on that sausage anymore.
It's my sausage.
But it is in the hit studio, isn't
I know it is in the sausage.
Nobody
how we
touches
start.
Rick's sausage apart from Rick and me, okay? That's it.
Guy with his eyes shut.
Yeah.
Right, guys, thanks for watching, listening. Be sure to follow Rachel on an amazing journey, and we'll see you all soon. Bye.